Well, welcome to another episode of NFL Fantasy Matchup as we head into week two. But before we talk about football, we're recording on a Friday morning. I would like to talk about Euro basketball. Have you guys been paying attention to Euro basketball? So today, Lowry Marketing of Finland is
Utah.
Finland.
Yeah.
Finland is playing against. I think a lot of times Schroeder is on that team and
Right.
Franz Wagner, and
Yeah.
later on it's Greece against Turkey, Sengun against Giannis.
Yep. Shooter is awesome in international play. If you ever watch him, he's like, I mean, he's been good in the NBA, but I feel like in international play, that guy really like he stands out. He's just so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I know. I think Luca put in like 29 points, and it just still wasn't enough.
Yeah.
For them to win. So that was a surprising loss.
I am surprised that their teams are allowing them to play for it because can you imagine how tiring it is? The use of their legs. You should be prepping for an NBA season, resting, all of that stuff. That's a lot of basketball in one season.
Yeah, but there's no way they would let. I mean, those guys would. They would not. They wouldn't allow themselves to not play for their countries because it's so important to them. So.
Well, that's what they were saying in ESPN. They said essentially the Milwaukee Bucks crew came out to support Giannis because they know how important this is for Giannis, and if they want to keep him, this is the way to do it.
Well, and plus,
you guys saw that they're redoing the All-Star thing to where it's going to be like they're trying to
like three teams that are rotating. It's like a round robin challenge.
Yeah, so they're trying to copy what hockey did, so they can get some of that international flavor.
I think it's 2 U.S. teams, 1 international team for now, and then they might expand it into like 2 international teams and 2 U.S. teams.
I mean, the hockey one was awesome. I don't know if you guys watched the hockey one. It was great. Like seeing that competition. It was
I think didn't Canada end up winning? They beat the U.S., right? Yeah.
Canada. They were hit. I mean, you could tell it was like playoff hockey. They were crushing each other. It was great.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. And then one very note before we start with NFL, a lot of times the White Sox have been doing very, very well. The Cubs are doing average, but believe it or not, the White Sox have been doing pretty well with their young team.
Jed, Tommy's the only one sitting there watching the White Sox.
I was gonna say,
no one cares about the White Sox. I'm like, who the heck cares about the White Sox?
They've won, I think, 9 out of 10 games. They've done pretty well. Yeah,
that is. But I mean, I'm so sad about Chicago because I had made a bet on Chicago early in the year or before the season, and I was like midway through, I was like, "Oh, I'm doing great. I'm gonna make money on this." Now it's like I don't know if they're even going to play.
Hey, I think they're gonna make the wild cards, right? Aren't they number one in the wild? Yeah.
Hey, before that, yesterday's game, anything? I did bet under total points under 48 points because I said, all Thursday night games are just terrible. So I just put $25 on there. And I did pretty well.
Yeah. I won yesterday. I was at my oldest daughter and my 2 daughters' high school open house. And during the open house, I was getting bored. So I was like, oh, let me just check. And so then I threw a bet on Green Bay and Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs to score, Green Bay to win, and it hit.
Yeah.
So that was nice. By the way, that's Josh Jacobs, I think, 10th straight game or 11th straight game with a touchdown.
Is it really? Yeah.
He picked it up. He has been really paying out, which is great.
Yeah. And Tucker Kraft, I mean, honestly, I did not think that guy was even gonna do anything this year, but he's been Jordan Love's like main thing, at least for the first 2 games.
Yeah, and I think the impact of Micah Parsons. I mean, their defense has been a lot.
Yeah.
People underestimated the impact because they are a dangerous team. I wouldn't want to face that team. So, yeah.
So that was my bet. I thought Micah Parsons, because he's had a sack against the Commanders in 4 straight games. And if you looked at the fourth quarter, he almost had a sack against Jaden Daniels, but Jaden just threw it right as he got there. So I missed out on that. That's okay. Did you guys see that Jaden Reed went out?
Yeah, and what's his name? Austin Eckler, I think, blown Achilles heels.
Or his
Jaden Reed. Yeah. I thought Matthew Golden could have a better game, and I'm still holding on to him. He missed 2 touchdowns that he could have gotten, and he would have been fine. But he missed a 90-yarder, and he missed a 4th down. But Matthew Golden could have had a better game.
But Jim, the Matthew Golden, it was a 91. It could have been 91-yard touchdown, and missed it just by this much. If Jordan Love had kept it up just at least a couple of seconds, he would have gotten it. And so I
Yeah.
think it's the rhythm that they have to work with, but the potential is there.
Yeah, yeah. I think we keep talking about this, Jed. I was thinking about this. You don't want to overreact, right, at the beginning of the year because there's so many players that I'm looking at right now that I'm asking myself, okay, do I drop them and pick up somebody else, right? But no, you don't want to overreact because some of these guys might take, especially these rookies, they're going to take a couple of games to kind of get adjusted to the NFL and then they'll be fine. Like you look at Omari and Hampton, right? You look at Matthew Golden. Those guys are still trying to figure themselves out as well too.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we keep saying. Weeks 1 and 2, for me, it's the first 2 weeks. Week
Hmm.
3 is where you can start making changes, but weeks 1 and 2, the guys are still, they don't have a huge preseason anymore, so they're still figuring
Yeah,
things out, and so you got to give a little bit of time. But it's a great time to pounce on people who are making moves too early. Like I think in one of our leagues, somebody dropped
Stefan.
Baltimore's defense. Yeah, someone dropped
Yeah,
Stephon
yeah,
Diggs. So
yeah.
I'm like,
Stefan Diggs was off.
guys,
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
overreact. But if people
yeah,
do, like, go and swoop those up because that's like a mistake.
Especially since Stephon Diggs is playing Miami this week, and Miami looks terrible.
yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah.
I got to actually. I have a bet on New England to win this week.
Yeah. Okay, but okay, not to overreact, but for you guys, is Jaden Daniels because he was selected, he was projected to be one of the top 4 quarterbacks, right? And I don't think the last couple of weeks he's been doing too well, but would you say he's still one of the top 4 fantasy quarterbacks out there?
I mean, I'm still because of his legs. I still have. I mean, basically, if you drafted him, all you want is for him to be top 10. Like to me, as long as
Uh-huh.
he's top 10, it's fine. You're not going to drop him. I will say Terry McLaurin. I've pretty much started to bench him because
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
he is not being used. Debo Samuel is just taken over everything, and so. But I agree with you. Probably projections on Jaden Daniels,
yeah,
but give it a beat. I mean, the guy is so smooth. Like he can run so well. That's going to cover a lot of
Yeah.
his past deficiencies.
I
yeah.
will say I do have a lot of Debo Samuel, but I did trade Debo Samuel for Jerry Judy because
Ooh.
look, Joe Flacco actually does pretty well in terms of airballing it. So I thought Jerry Judy, since they were going to be behind a lot of times. But Krosky Merritt, with the injury to Austin Eckler, they traded Brian Robinson, continues to really have a good chance to do decently well. Not the best because you do have Jaden Daniels running. Yeah. Hey, looking at today, no, actually, before we look at today's game, who was your waiver wire pickup that you got this week that you were targeting?
For me, Hollywood Brown, because again, I just talked about Terry McLaurin. I picked up Hollywood Brown. I think he's a decent like plug-in just for like a 1 week, 2 week. Although they're saying that Xavier Worthy might actually play. Like we're trying to see if he like practices today and tomorrow. But that was my one pickup. Oh, and Kyle Pitts. I picked up Kyle Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
Although I got outbid in a couple places. That was a nice pickup.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Jim.
You know what? I'm picking up Harold Fannin, and I don't even know if Harold Fannon's going to be good. I don't even know who he is,
Cleveland,
because
tight end.
yeah, no, no, yeah, but like, I mean, who the heck? He just kind of came out of nowhere, and so I just picked him up because I was like, look, you never know if he's gonna turn out to be a really good tight end. And if you did, that's great. If not, then I'll just dump him later on as well too. But Harold Fannon's been the person that I've been really looking at as well too. And the other person is, I think if you need a quarterback, Geno Smith, I actually think will be decent. I think he'll be the next Sam Darnold this coming year. So I've actually put him on my team on a couple of leagues.
All right, then let me ask you guys a question, Jed and Jim. Is if you had Aaron Rodgers or Daniel Jones sitting there, which one would you like? They both had
Daniel
good
Jones.
decent weeks.
Yeah, I just think I mean, here's my thing. I'll bet on a Daniel Jones because I think Daniel Jones at least has Jonathan Taylor, he's got Michael Pittman, he's got Tyler Warren, he's got a better crew around him. Whereas I think Aaron Rodgers, I feel like is too old, and I don't know if his receivers and the people around him, they're a little bit more suspect to me.
Who dropped Devonta Smith in our 1K league? I just saw that.
Shut
I didn't
shut
know
up.
that.
Wait. Okay,
And
okay. Jed.
just down the what the guy that
Jed,
I
stop
what
talking about that. I've been trying to secretly keep I've been trying to
no, it
not
went.
say
He
anything.
got picked up for $30. Someone spent
Oh, I
$30 to
bid it
get
ten.
him.
Okay, I
But
bid
who
it ten
dropped
dollars
him?
for him. I don't know.
We gotta make
I okay.
fun of whoever dropped him. That is
Here's the thing. Okay, it's funny how you were saying that because I saw him the other
see,
day.
I
I
didn't
put
see
ten
it.
dollars on there, and I was hoping no one would see
Yeah,
him
I
or pay
didn't
attention
see
to
it.
him.
Wait,
Who
who
picked
picked
him
him
up,
up?
by the way? Do you know?
It's the guy that I played last week. He
Yeah.
changed his name to Touchdown Jesus because I do Touchdown Jesus. So
Okay. I was
they lost
so
with me.
surprised that someone dropped Devontae
Wait,
Smith.
I want to see who dropped him. What the heck? Like I hadn't checked this
Yeah.
league.
Well, Jen checking Jim. Isaac has continued to text me about Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
I said, "Hey, look, Isaac. There will be no trade for Travis Hunter if Tucker Craft is not included in there. So whatever you do, you got to include Tucker
Yeah.
Craft."
Oh, well, this is in our Yahoo league, right? You
Yeah.
Yeah.
know why? Because okay, so I was talking to him, and by the way, Isaac does listen to this podcast. So, but
Isaac,
I was
we're
talking
sitting
to
here
him. It's
talking about
because
you, Isaac.
Yahoo allows you to play Travis Hunter in the defensive
Oh,
category,
that's
so you can
so
slot him
cool.
in.
Oh,
So
that's
that's why he wants him, so he can slot him into the
oh,
defensive
I,
category,
okay.
and that gives him another offensive player to put out there.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Because
didn't
let's
know
just
that.
yeah, ESPN doesn't allow it, but
Yeah.
Yahoo allows that. So
So,
that's why.
Jed, Travis
Yeah,
Hunter is on my defense right now.
Dude,
Is my
yeah,
that's
safety.
awesome. So
yeah.
that alone is a reason to pick him up. I did not realize that. I remember we talked about that before the season. We were like, if they let you do that, that'll be a huge
No, but see,
benefit.
yeah, ESPN allows you that designation, but it
Yeah,
won't allow you to put it into that defensive IDP
slot.
category. But
Yeah.
Yahoo does.
But remember, when we were drafting at Yahoo, he was just a wide receiver.
Yeah,
Yep.
Then they added it after the draft. So now I'm
yeah,
saying,
yeah,
wait a minute.
yeah,
I could sit there and put it on there, so it worked well for me.
yeah. Well, I was on the phone talking to him, and I think that's why him and his brother was talking about it, and that's how I realized what he wanted.
He has constantly sent me trade offers for Travis Hunter.
Yeah. But if you think about it, that's actually really smart. And I wish I knew that going in the draft, right? Because think about it, you have just now, let's just say that he can average 15 points. You now have a defensive player
Yeah.
averaging 15
Oh,
points a
it's
game,
huge.
and you have another offensive player you can put in there as well, too.
Okay, I found him. It's the Linder Express. Who is that?
Oh, yes, yes. It's my friend Peyton Linder
The
out in
Linder
Georgia.
Express dropped
Yeah.
Devonta Smith. That was
I'm
a
actually
calling
surprised.
you
I'm
out.
surprised
That
he
was a
did
big
that.
mistake, friend.
Yeah. Because he's an Alabama guy, and Payton's such a big Alabama guy. But I saw that the other day,
Oh, so
and I
bad.
didn't say anything
Yeah.
because I was hoping
You're
it would
so
slide by.
see. You should have said something so that everyone
No,
knew.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
$30, that guy spent a lot of money. So that, but I that's worth it. $30 for Devonta Smith is worth it. So
yeah.
good
I
pick.
don't know. I don't know. $30 for Devontae. I put 10, and I was like, this should be
No, I
fine.
think that's well, depending on when he's in fifth place too, so he's doing fine. Anyway, that was a good pickup.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's
Sometimes
go
I
through a
mean,
couple of games that I want to pick your brain on as well
wait,
too.
Tom. Let me say something
Oh,
to you. Do you guys scour waiver wires
Oh
throughout the
yeah.
week?
Oh yeah.
Right, because people are going to drop some players,
Oh
like
yeah.
especially these next couple of weeks,
Yeah.
players that they drafted pretty high.
Yeah.
Some of these guys are going to drop.
Oh yeah. No, that's a
Yeah,
when you
they learn
click on
fast.
waiver wires, they'll always do ads. But before that, I actually would do percentage rostered because you're sitting there, who is up there that someone may have accidentally dropped because you
hmm
think your roster, so you don't think about it. But sometimes it just appears.
that's
Like
how
on
that.
Diggs.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs, Chris Olave was on the waiver
Yes,
wire.
I saw
I've
Olave. I
I've
tried to get
seen
him.
a number of
Yeah.
Caleb Johnson
Yeah.
from Pittsburgh, the running back dropped. I've seen Jaden Blue dropped a number of times, and so those are guys who I think later on they're actually going to be pretty good.
Hey, speaking of Jaden Blue, Javante Williams, a lot of times you know how much I love Javante Williams. He had two
He was
touchdowns,
good.
but I think
He was
it's
good.
Jaden Blue who eventually, because the yardage is still low for what do you call it, Javante Williams.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's interesting. I
Mm.
definitely thought so. Remember, in the first 2 weeks, there's always going to be players who it's like a flash in the pan, right? And so Quentin Johnson,
Yeah,
2 touchdowns. Do you think that's going to continue? I don't think so. So you have to be a little bit careful about which ones you jump at. But then some of them they do sustain, and then
I don't know Tucker Craft.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean they've
Tucker
got
Craft.
no receivers on that team, so
Yeah.
I think a Tucker Craft actually would be pretty good.
But side note with Dallas Cowboys, did Ezekiel Elliott, is he gone? Did they cut
Yeah,
him or
he's
something?
retired. I think
Okay,
he's
he's
retired.
retired. Okay.
Yeah. hmm
I got them winning this week against the Giants. Dallas.
That's
Because Russell
you know,
Wilson stinks.
Russell Williams. Yeah, I think Jackson Dart is going to become the quarterback here soon. I don't know why they keep going with a Russell Wilson, but they better go with Jackson Dart soon because I need Malik Neighbors to do some good scoring for me.
I actually need Tyrone Tracy to do pretty well. I
Yeah.
need him to step it up. He only got me less than 5 points the other week.
Hey, your guy in Jacksonville, that wide receiver, what's his name?
Brian Thomas?
Yeah, Tom, he needs to pick it up because he was a
Yes.
high pick. I have him on one team, and I'm like, hey, you did not pay out yet, so we guys.
Because you know who's paying out. ETN is paying out. They seem to
ETN,
be running
yes,
ETN pretty
that was.
well.
Yeah.
Oh, see, we all talked about. Oh, he was went now. He looked great, and then once they trade Tank Bixby, that tells you they
Mhm.
think that he's the guy. So
No, okay. So I wait. Who were you guys talking about? ETN.
ETN,
Yeah.
yeah.
That was actually really good because they were saying it's not ETN. ETN is not the reason why Tank Bixby was traded. Tutan, the backup, is the reason why he was really traded because he's the. And so I've been really paying attention to him and trying to pick him up in as many leagues as I can.
Interesting, interesting. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, a couple LA Rams, Tennessee Titans. Based upon the last, is there any Titans that you're paying attention to? Look, Puka is going to do well. Devontae Adams was okay, that stuff. But Tennessee Titans, did you like anything that you saw of them?
No. Yeah, no. There wasn't anything there. I was pretty disappointed. I mean, Cam Ward, you just got to see. He needs to. We'll see. He didn't have a great first week. Let's see what this next week looks like.
Yeah. And then Jim on the next one, Seattle Seahawks, Pittsburgh Steelers. Jed and I were talking about what do you think is going to happen between Kenny Walker or Charbonnet?
Yeah,
We're going
yeah.
to see a
How about
split
this?
between both groups.
Without telling everybody what I'm trying to do, in 2 leagues I drafted Kenny Walker, and I am trying to get rid of Kenny Walker because it does seem like the ones that they're going after, the running back that they like is Charbonnet. So by the way, as I'm looking at this Seattle versus Pittsburgh, if you're a betting guy, make sure that you put DK Metcalf is scoring a touchdown this week against his former team. Yeah.
Former
That
team,
DK
yep. I
Metcalf this
got
week.
Metcalf, and I, I, I told you guys that DK Metcalf to me in with the Steelers was an easy, wide receiver 2 pick because Aaron Rodgers is going to
Hmm.
just laser focus on this guy, and I still think that. Although I do not think Aaron Rodgers
No, I
went
don't
for
think so too.
31
Yeah.
touchdowns a week. I think that was a total aberration, but I do think he will have a
Yeah,
big game
yeah.
this weekend.
Well, how about this?
So
Earlier, I just said that the Pittsburgh team was a little suspect in terms of the wide receivers, but Calvin Austin, who's the backup number 2 wide receiver, he's actually a potential good pickup, right? Because if you've historically, Aaron Rodgers has always taken care of his receivers and his tight end. And so last week, what you saw is Jonnu Smith, Calvin Austin, and DK Metcalf all did well. Now, the question is what's going to happen to the running back? But for sure, this week, I do think that Metcalf is somebody who's going to do well because of Seattle.
Well, I think it's matchup dependent to me. Like if Pittsburgh is playing beatable teams,
Hmm.
then I think you're playing everyone and you're playing Aaron Rodgers. But when they're playing the tougher teams,
Yeah,
especially in
totally.
their division, they got a hard division.
Hmm.
I don't see that happening. But I also think on Seattle side, I just want to say I am not dropping Kenny Walker. If you're dropping Kenny Walker, I'm willing to pick him up because I still think it's similar to Detroit last year. It's a split where both running backs are
Yeah.
playable. And you
Well,
can get a lot
I'm
of
not,
points out of both.
yeah.
So
Jed,
I'm not.
I still have high hopes for Cooper Cup too.
I don't know. He's old. Um,
Yeah. Hey, just to let you know, DK Metcalf, anytime TD score plus 155. Now, if you do 2+ TDs, it's plus 1200.
Man, the 2+ is crazy. That I know you
yeah.
guys have hit that before. That is like nuts to me. Although Derrick Henry on the 2+, holy smoke, you can do
Yeah.
that.
Here's the thing. I'm not dropping a Kenny Walker, but I'm trying to trade him to somebody who's not
Oh,
paying it
I
as
see.
much attention as we are, right? If I can get rid of a Kenny Walker, just because I do think, okay, even in the best case scenario, I think Charbonnet is going to get at least half of the carries. And so I much rather I need somebody who's going to be able to carry me And I'm more than willing to trade a Kenneth Walker right now. If I can get a Ricky Pearsall out of it, that'd be
Yeah.
great.
Ricky Pearsall has been pretty good. I'm a little frustrated that I traded Ricky Pearsall over to Jimmy. And when we were sitting there doing our draft, I sat there and I wasn't paying attention. And Ricky Pearsall,
Yeah,
Jimmy,
I
I think
did.
you got him for
For
under
yeah,
$5.
yeah, yeah.
Yes, I went to the used to washer. I came back and said, Ricky Pearsall's gone. Dang it. I was saving my money for
I
Ricky
always know
Pearsall.
which ones Tommy is going to go
Oh,
after. And actually, I remember Ricky Pearsall because I was surprised you didn't bid higher on him. And the rest of those guys, most of these
I was
guys,
in the
they
washroom.
don't know who Ricky Pearsall is, right? Yeah.
No.
You know what I don't like in our auction drafts is this
Oh,
stupid
yes.
auto
Yeah.
draft because if you are the only guy
The
who
auto
knows, but
draft
then there's an
knows
auto
it.
draft
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
jacks up the
Totally.
price and you don't get
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't
The
get it
auto
cheap. I'm
draft
like, come
always
on.
knows based off of projections, and they're the ones that
Yes,
keep bidding, which is but gets me so
yes.
frustrated. Yeah. So,
So
yeah.
annoying. Oh, it's so annoying.
Yeah. Cleveland Brown, Baltimore Ravens. Do you feel like a lot of times, hey, look, would you say that Derrick Henry is going to get a touchdown in this one?
Oh, 100%. And because the stupid Browns defender, I don't know who he was, came out and said that Derrick Henry is not hard to tackle. I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
why would you come out and say that before the game? This is the biggest spread of the week. I think it's an 11-point spread, so I think you can take him
Yeah.
swinging in
My
this one.
biggest question that I'm going to pay attention to, I think Derrick Henry is going to be fine. I kind of want to see what's going to happen with Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, and then Judkins as if he plays, right? Because I do think Ford is going to be get the odd man out, but I do want to see how good is Sampson and how much are they going to use
Yeah.
Judkins, because those two people are people that I'm paying attention to from a waiver wire standpoint.
Yeah, I'd pay more attention to
Hmm.
usage than actual production. I mean, they're playing Baltimore. Although Baltimore the defense did not look great last week. So maybe and this is an
Yeah.
in division game. So Cleveland
But
usually
remember, it's
plays Baltimore
Baltimore
with extra
against
size.
Buffalo. Their defense always stinks, right? But they've got some good. I
Yeah,
mean, they got Malachi Starks. They've got Cal Hamilton. They've got Roquan Smith. I mean, they've got a good
yeah,
defense on their
Roquan
side.
Smith. Yeah,
But I don't know. Dylan Sampson is somebody I'm paying attention to because I actually think that he's actually decent. But I do have Judkins sitting in my IR in quite a few leagues because for me, I'm like, I might as well throw him on my IR if he's good. I've got a running back there that I can use towards the end of the season.
Yeah. Chicago Bears, Detroit Lions. What do you think is going to happen? I actually think that the Chicago Bears will probably come out with a win. They are plus
Hmm.
225 at this point right now.
yeah. I don't think that's a bad bet. I think it's like 5.5 maybe on the spread. But obviously, the team it's got to be really disappointed with last week falling apart after a great first half and third quarter. But Ben Johnson going against his former
Yeah.
team, he's got to be
Well, I
really
know I
disappointed
wasn't
with
able to
this.
join you guys, but Caleb Williams looked good in that first half. And then towards the second half, especially the fourth quarter, I don't know what happened to that guy, but he missed so many easy throws. I mean, there was that one touchdown to DJ Moore on the left hand side that he just completely missed. And I don't know if he was just kind of running scared or if he was just pressing, but he missed so many people. Whereas, like, the first half, he had 10 for 10.
Yeah, I actually wasn't. He was 10 for 10, but like to me, I hated that
Yeah.
he was hitting checkdowns when the first and second pick
Hmm.
in the progression was open. So he to me he was missing throws and he was scared to make throws, and he was just being safe. So I actually didn't think the first half was
Yeah.
like a great first. I thought it was okay, but I didn't think it was like a great first half.
Yeah. What's your thoughts on Colston Loveland and also Jameson Williams from what you saw in Detroit as well as Chicago?
A lot of people drop Loveland, by the way, too, which I think is fine if you've got your tight. Like to me, you don't need to be carrying two tight ends. Like once you find the tight end you want, stick with him. But I
Hmm.
noticed a lot of people
Yeah,
did
yeah.
drop him.
I mean, really, for me, I want to pay attention to DeAndre Swift, because DeAndre Swift, I think, played actually quite a bit during that game, but the production just wasn't there. So I'm interested to see if the second week of them using him is going to be better because on the waiver wire is sitting Manungai and he's available in what 80, 90% of the leagues. So if DeAndre Swift can't do what they want him to do, Monangai is the person that you want to pay attention to. And then also, who's really the number one receiver? Is it DJ Moore or Rome? Because Rome is the one who caught that touchdown, but DJ Moore could have caught a couple ones. They just missed him.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about the wide receiver in Tampa Bay now that Godwin's coming back with Ubeka? Do you think he's going to continue, or what do you guys think there?
I think it's going to be a three-headed monster, but he is very, very good. I think a lot of times toward the end of the season, he may actually end up
Yeah,
emerging
yeah.
as your top wide
But think
receiver
about Tampa
because
Bay's got some good receiver because they got Abuka, they got Godwin coming back, and then McMillan is coming back
Mike
as well too.
Evans.
And remember, Jaden McMillan last year was actually pretty good. He was like a good, solid number two for them. So they've actually, and then they got Cade Otton as well too, and then Bucky Irving, right? So I that's one of the reasons why for me Baker Mayfield was actually somebody I was willing to draft because I knew the yardage might not be there, but the touchdowns were going to be there for him. Yeah,
Yep. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's why I'm very happy with Baker. In fact, Tampa Bay is one of my picks to
yeah.
go pretty far in the playoffs this year because I just think that team is stacked. So
Mm.
let's see.
Now, another game that I was looking at, San Francisco, right?
Hmm.
Tons of injuries. They're playing the worst, I think, in football at the New Orleans Saints. But San Francisco, no Brock Purdy, nor George Kittle, and they're pure saw. Christian McCaffrey, you don't know what's going to happen. What do you think between San Francisco
I mean,
and
I think
New
San Francisco
Orleans?
was the win because New Orleans stinks so bad, right? And so I think Pearsall, my guess is again from if you're looking at DraftKings, I think Pearsall will score a touchdown. I think McCaffrey, they're going to feed him the ball because there's nobody else that they want to pay attention to. On the New Orleans side, you just want to see how much is Chris Olave. I mean, he got the most receptions last week, but Jawan Johnson, the tight end, was really the one who scored the most fantasy points. So I'm paying attention to those two. And I think Kamara is just a shell of his old former self. I don't think he's really that relevant anymore.
Yeah, I'm a little scared that New Orleans is not as bad as they looked in week one. As we said, week one and week two, it's always a little tricky. But I do think San Francisco should win this game,
Yeah.
and I'm picking San Francisco. If you drafted CMC, you got to be happy because I was really worried, Jimmy. He did not make a trade CMC for Marvin Harrison. And before the game, I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's not even going to play." So I was thinking like, "I'm not getting any points." And then he ended up getting, I think, like 140 yards or something. I mean, great game, typical CMC game. He's getting a little less usage than you saw last year. They're being a little more careful, but overall, you got to be really happy, with what you got.
But within San Francisco, I know you're definitely keeping Brian Robinson. But for those who are picking up Isaiah Guerrero, would you keep him or would you drop him?
He
Yeah.
didn't have a single carry last game, so
No, I mean, but you never know, right? Like for me, I don't know about you guys. Waiver wire pickups, I always like to go after running backs before I get a tight end, a quarterback, or wide receiver, because these running backs always end up doing well or at least playing some sort of role, right? I mean, if you look at the history of it, the Kareem Hunts of the world, the Zach Charbonnets of the world, so the Grendel, look, if you've got a space on there, I mean, I'm not saying that CMC is going to play the entire season, but there might be a couple of games where Grendel might actually be pretty pertinent, and someone's going to pay like $50 for that guy.
Yeah. New England Patriots, Miami Dolphins. Amazingly, as bad as Miami looked, New England is the underdog, which I actually think New England with Drake May and all those guys, I think would do well.
oh, I'm picking that. That is one of my upset picks of the week, 100%. Like I think Patriots are going to win this game, and I think they're going
Yeah.
to handle it. Like I think Drake's going to have a great game. I think Dolphins are in a world of hurt. We talked about this. I had my only hope with Tyreek Hill, is if he gets
To the
traded.
Chiefs, you mean?
Otherwise, I think Tua, yeah, ideally to the Chiefs, but Tua, I was thinking
Yeah.
Tua would have a bounce
Yeah.
back. Something's wrong. He does not look right. So I don't know what is going on, but I'm really, if you have
Yeah.
any Miami players, you got to be really worried.
And an unhappy Tyreek Hill is
No.
never
Yeah.
fun for
That's why
any
I
team.
have
Yep.
kept Jalen Waddle on my team. I mean, he didn't, he what,
Oh
scored
yeah.
5 fantasy points last week. But my guess is, let's just say they trade Tyreek Hill, right? Because they're just so tired of him complaining all the time. Waddle now becomes pertinent because he's the number one wide receiver. Um, Devon Achane is projected to score more than Travion Henderson. I don't know what people's fascination with Achane is. I just feel like he just hasn't done well, but he's got one good game, but he's just not consistent for me.
That's why I've been stashing Ollie Brown because I really have hopes in Ollie Brown. 2 years ago in college, he was the nation's top rusher, and eventually Achan always gets injured, and that's why I'm sitting there putting Ollie Brown in there.
Tom, with Ollie Gordon, Jed, I traded
Or
for
Ollie
me,
Gordon, yeah.
and I feel bad for it, but he might end up having a better trade. I traded him Ollie Gordon, Brian Robinson for what's his name? Yeah, for Brees Hall.
Brees Hall.
And Brees Hall went
Brees Hall.
off, and so but I think he's going for potential. He's going for potential that Ollie Gordon will become the number one running back, and that Brian Robinson will end up being number one because McCaffrey is going to go out.
It's a long season. I'm going for the long game. Brees Hall, I think a lot of times says, "Hey, look, Justin Fields always starts out hot. He struggles a little bit. New York Jets will continue to struggle. Yet at the same time, Ollie Gordon may replace Achan. CMC a lot of times may be replaced by Brian Robinson.
I don't know. I still like my Brees Hall trade.
Yeah. All right. Super Bowl rematch: Philadelphia Eagles, Kansas City Chiefs, with the Chiefs as an underdog. Thoughts on that one?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I could see that. I can see the Eagles. Okay, so here's what I'm also like. Travis Kelce had a touchdown, but he did not do well last week. Hollywood Brown is really going to be your number one receiver because who else do you got, right? Rashee Rice is out. Some people say Xavier Worthy may come back and that he's going to have a harness around him, but there's no way this guy's going to catch any balls, And so I do think that Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia is a better team, and I think they're going to run the ball with Saquon.
What's the spread on this one?
1.5. 1.5.
The Chiefs going 0-2 though, that would be crazy to start the season if the Chiefs go 0-2.
They have no receivers though, Jed. Like they have nobody, right? Like you would think that Kelce. I mean, who they got? Thornton and Hollywood Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster. That's who they got going up against Philadelphia.
But maybe they go heavy run.
No, but even then, Pacheco, like if you've noticed, Pacheco and Kareem Hunt last week split carries 50-50. I mean, who's really the running back there too?
But you can never count out Patrick Mahomes. Somehow or another, he ends up figuring it out how to do it. It may not be a pretty game, but
yeah, Pat but Jalen Hurts and Saquon is just so good, AJ Brown, I do think, because he had 0 fantasy points last week. No, so I do think he's gonna need that ball. So I mean, again, I'm gonna place bets that he's at least gonna score a touchdown this week.
Yeah, I don't like this game to bet, but if I had to, I'm gonna Bulls. But man, Chiefs going 0-2.
By the way, I'm still a little frustrated now that I didn't get Devontae Smith. Should put a little bit more money on him, but $30 is a little bit too much for Devontae Smith.
Well, to me, that's so to me. Just so you guys know, if you have $100 budget to the waivers, I think of it as 3 people. So that's about $30 to $35.
I don't know. Remember a couple of years ago when Puka Nacua, none of us knew about Puka Nacua, and that after that first game, everyone was bidding like tons of money for Puka Nacua. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And he was worth it.
Yep. A couple more games. Denver Broncos, Indianapolis Colts. The Colts with Daniel Jones, but more so Denver Broncos. Their defense, I just love their defense.
Yeah.
They just have a great defense.
I'm taking Broncos all day in that one. I don't think the Colts are real. I don't think that was real. We'll talk about weeks 1 and weeks 2. What's a mirage? Daniel Jones throwing 3 touchdowns. And what was the insane stat? He scored on every single possession.
Single drive.
7 possessions. They scored every drive. That's not happening again. And Denver's defense is very good. I was disappointed in Bo Nix. I did not think he had a great week last week. He had a decent fourth quarter, but not a great week. But I expect him to bounce.
Tom, are you keeping Bo? I know you have Bo Nix as your starting quarterback for a couple of leagues. Are you going to keep him as your starting quarterback?
Yeah, I still like Bo Nix
Yeah.
just because I like Sean Payton. So I'll keep him for a little
Yeah,
bit and see
I
how
do like
well
how
he does.
J.K. Dobbins is literally doing the same thing as he did last year, right? I think he's going to have a couple good games, and then all of a sudden R.J. Harvey's going to come in and take over. But at least for these next few weeks, J.K. Dobbins is a good player to play.
That's the guy I think people are going to start
Oh
dropping.
yeah,
RJ
R.J.
Harvey.
Harvey is
Yeah,
too
you got
good.
to bring
Yeah,
that up
yeah,
because I'm
yeah, yeah.
stashing him. Yep.
Yeah. And even be careful, Travion Henderson, because he did okay, not very good. And so some people, especially once you start entering bye weeks, they may drop
Yeah.
Travion Henderson.
Yeah, and my oldest son, like me saying this, which is, I think the Patriots are
Yeah.
going to sneak up on people. They're not as bad as they were last year. They're a decent team, and you
Yeah.
can get some offensive points out of them. I totally agree with you on Trayvon. I mean, I still like Ramondre Stevenson, but Trayvon,
By the way, do you guys
he
notice
should
when I
be the
wake
guy.
up and on waiver wire days, I wake up right at 2 o'clock my time, which is 4 o'clock your time, because I want to be the
Oh my
first
goodness,
one to see who people have dropped so I can start picking them up. Seriously, I get on there so early.
that's funny.
Yeah. Because if you're sitting there on the waiver wire and you're probably number 4 or number 3, if you don't like your players, don't just sit there and just pick up players for the sake of picking up players. Let those
Mm-hmm.
guys pick it up and then move up the waiver wire because there always may be an injury or something and you want to be number 1. So if you don't like
Yeah,
the
totally.
player,
Yeah.
don't pick them up.
But RJ Harvey, yeah.
Yeah. And also a lot of times the elephant in the room. Don't you think Drake May, Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb
Oh
Williams?
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I was not. I mean, it's early. Ben Johnson's got to work his magic, but he was the accuracy. Like he was supposed to be really accurate, but the accuracy
Yeah.
on him is just he's got to step up. It can't be below
Yeah.
60%. You got to be 65%, 70%.
Well, Jed, what
It's
you
not.
just said is I
It's
remember listening
it's
Kurt Warner assess Caleb Williams on the NFL Network, right? He says a
yeah.
quarterback has a split second to decide if they can get a player or throw a ball to a player. And usually that split second makes a big difference. Some quarterbacks just can't do it and you can't teach it, right? But as you said, if you keep missing your number one option, your number two option, and you're going to your number three safety option, which is usually a dump off to your tight end, your running back, then there's a problem because you're not making those decisions fast enough. And those are the ones that separate the really good quarterbacks from the average quarterbacks. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm on poor Chicago, but we'll see. I mean, Ben Johnson, if you
Yeah.
can't do it with
Well,
Ben
the other
Johnson,
thing that they were saying, I don't know if you were watching the game, they were saying that Caleb Williams has to learn to stay in the pocket. Because if you've noticed, when he gets scared or when he gets worried, he's always running out of the pocket. And you almost have to trust your offensive line to take care of you and protect you.
yeah.
Yeah.
I do like if you do get to watch Kurt Warner break down tape for a
Yeah.
quarterback, he's really good. Like I think he's excellent at that.
Yeah. As we wrap up the 2 Monday night games, love to get your thoughts on it. Tampa Bay and Houston in the first Monday night game, and the LA Chargers, Las Vegas Raiders. Any thoughts on any of these two games?
I
Yeah,
love the Bucks
totally.
over the Texans. Don't believe in the Texans at all. I think that should be an easy one. Raiders Chargers is interesting. What do you guys think about? I mean, so the Chargers obviously, it's kind of what we expected, I think. But
Yeah. Well, see,
Raiders,
the
I'm still
Chargers, I mean, Harbaugh's always been a running team. And Herbert last week, actually threw a decent amount of time. And so I kind of want to see if they're going to continue to do that and feed their ball to the receivers. Because that then elevates, in my mind, a Justin Herbert to potentially a starting quarterback. Because right now, a lot of people are drafting him as a backup, but he might actually be a pretty good fantasy starting quarterback this year.
Oh, and Jed, Tampa Bay is a 2.5
Really? To
underdog
Houston?
over to
underdog.
Houston.
It's because
Oh,
it's
no.
because
Two
it's
and
Yeah,
a half
yeah,
Tampa.
yeah,
underdogs to Houston.
yeah,
Yeah, it's in
yeah,
Texas, which
yeah. Tampa Bay's so much
crazy. You
better
got to
than
pick the
Houston.
Bucks.
Any last thoughts as we wrap
Any
up
good
here?
college football games out this weekend? I haven't looked.
Yeah, I was looking. I mean, I was happy Oklahoma beat Michigan.
Arch Manning came back around and did really well.
Dude, no, 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 no. Arch Manning, I love. It's coming out. The guy is not what his name is. So let's just see. We'll see how the rest of the season goes. But I have to admit, as an Oklahoma fan,
No,
I do
you know
have
what?
a
You're
lot of
just
pleasure to see
biased.
Arch
You know,
Manning.
because I know but Archman, you know what? That guy, he's got a lot of hype around it. I was watching the Arch Manning game last week, and then I was paying attention to the Illinois game because Illinois is actually what, number 9, number 10 now, so they're actually pretty good. But there's no way those guys are going to beat Ohio State and Penn State and Oregon. Those are 3 really good teams. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah. Other than that,
Oh
Illinois
yeah,
is
Illinois
playing
won.
Western Michigan. LSU is playing Florida. Notre Dame is playing Texas A&M. And let's see, another one that's good is the Colorado game against Houston today. That's supposed to be good. They're making a change in quarterback, so I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes with it.
Notre Dame is a good bet. I mean, they lost last week, and they should have a bounce back.
Hmm.
So that's a good bet against Texas.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Jed.
Disney?
Enjoy. You're off to Orlando next week, right?
Yeah, I'll be in Disney World next week. So anyone
Hey,
there, say hi.
I told him
What
to
ride are
ride
you
on
looking for
Tron.
next week, Jed?
Yeah, Jimmy said to ride Tron, but I'm most looking forward to all the Star Wars stuff. You know, I haven't been there since all that came out. I'm really looking forward to seeing the Millennium Falcon and doing all the rides there. So we'll see. We haven't been to my family hasn't
Yeah,
been to Disney in
yeah.
over 10 years, so it should be a blast.
You got it.
Bye.
See you soon.
Good to see you, Ron.
Bye.